guys, I'm here with Steve, who is a fellow FRC mobility specialist, and today we are going to go through some hip mobility training. So this is not a full hip Kinstretch class. It's going to be an abbreviated version of about 12 to 15 minutes of training, and we're only going to go through one side. So what you would do is follow through on the side, rewind the video, swap sides, and then just go through the same progression on the opposite side. So today we're going to be training some hip internal rotation, and we're going to do about 4 or 5 different in-range options. We're not going to do a whole lot of volume for each option because I wanted to give you as big of a menu of in-range training as possible so you can follow along with this video step by step. Later you could come back and kind of pick and choose what you feel is most appropriate for you. So to start, we're going to get Steve in a sideline position to go through some sideline hip cars. So Steve, you can go ahead that way, prop up your head with the Kinstretch block. Good, good. And we're going to be training this top leg. So bring those hips and knees to 90. Good, good. And we're going to be training this right leg. Remember, we're going to go through the whole thing with Steve's right leg, and then you'll just reverse the video and go through it on your left side. So for these sideline hip cars, Steve is going to start by pulling his knee to his chest, and then he's going to bring his knee up toward the ceiling, not letting those hips spill backward because we're trying to isolate the hip joint here, not get pelvis, not get spine. Now he's going to keep his knee on an axis and begin internally rotating and reaching his thigh back, bringing that hip into IR and extension. Good, good. And then he's going to come around and those knees are going to meet each other. Excellent, excellent. See how slow and controlled he is? This is perfect. And now he's going to reverse it. That's half a rep. So he's going to bring the knee back. He's going to bring the knee up to the ceiling. And here's that wring out the towel sensation that we talk about. His knee's on an axis. Awesome, awesome. And he's going to bring that hip back into slight ER, but mostly neutral, knee to chest, and then back down to our starting position. Awesome. And go through that again, Steve. So that Steve's doing a really good job of doing. If you can hear his breathing, he's irradiating throughout his upper body. So he's super tense throughout his entire body, which is allowing him to squeeze out even more in range with the hip that we are training. And his pace is perfect right now. We always say we want to drive our cars at 1 mile an hour. So he's continually moving, but it's as if he's stuck moving at 1 mile an hour. We don't want to speed through our cars. We always want to do them slow and controlled. That's why we call them controlled articular rotations. So he's squeezing out this in range. Now you'll notice because we are in sideline for these hip cars, that we're not really getting that hacky sack across the body external rotation that we typically do when we do standing hip cars. There's no right or wrong position in which to do your cars. Different positions give us slightly different sensations. So today we're doing sideline. Other days we may do standing. We can also do quadrupedal. Just remember that it's not about being in the right or wrong position. It's just about having the right intention for the joint that we are targeting. Excellent, excellent. And then I'm going to get Steve to come back for his final half rep. Steve is an excellent model for internal effort. He understands irradiation. He understands how to keep tension throughout his entire body. He's doing a really good job of not letting this pelvis and the spine kick in where he may not have quite as much hip range as he would like. All right, so you doing all right?
Doing great.
Cool. All right, you can sit up, and now we're going to come into that 90-90 position. So we're training your right leg, so you'll be in 90-90 with that right leg behind you. Yep, there we go. Awesome. And then rotate slightly that way. Perfect. Good, good. So we can really see your leg. Awesome. So Steve is in this 90-90 position. We've done a couple videos training hip IR in this same position. And you can see that his knee is directly in line with his hip, and then his knee is at exactly 90 degrees. This is going to allow us that deep capsular tissue of the hip and really ensure that we are getting that rotational intention. So to make sure that Steve is at end range, we're going to ask him to lift his foot off of the floor without changing his torso position. Steve, can you lift your foot off the floor?
That's pretty challenging.
All right, good. Now, Steve, are you feeling this stretch?
I'm right here right now.
Okay, so Steve is feeling more sensations in the outside of his hip. That's not what we're targeting. So what I want to do is take away some of this layered relative abduction by having him kickstand his arm out to the side. Good, good. So we've taken away some of the demand here. Now, Steve, did you feel a change in that sensation?
Yeah, it decreased here.
All right, decrease there. Are we feeling anything in the inside hip stuff yet?
And the inside?
Yes.
Nothing quite yet.
Not a lot. Okay, so now I want you to bring your shoulders slightly toward me. You're going to rotate toward me slightly. So now we've oriented his torso and his pelvis to create more relative hip internal rotation. Steve, did that change the stretch at all?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
feeling it.
so now where are we feeling the stretch?
Feeling it a lot more on the inside.
Awesome. That's our target tissue. So remember, it's not about being in the right or wrong position. It's about getting the intention. So some people may be more upright. Some people may be kickstanding out more. Some people may have their shoulders rotated more. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we're targeting the intended tissue. Now, Steve, here's passive stretch phase. So we're going to spend about 2 minutes, have about 90 seconds left here for our passive stretch. So Steve, what I want you to do to facilitate this passive stretch is regulate your breathing. So deep breathing, expand your torso 360, and you're trying to relax, sink deeper into that stretch. Good. Remember, the only way we can consciously regulate our autonomic nervous system, think fight or flight, rest and digest, the only way we can consciously downregulate into rest and digest a parasympathetic state is with our breathing. So this deep parasympathetic breathing is going to facilitate relaxing into a deeper stretch so that we can really access some tissue at new length when we go into this first Pales Rails effort. So we're going to move into Steve's first reps of 2 of hip internal rotation Pales Rails. So remember, for Pales Rails, we have a progressive side and a regressive side. The progressive tissue is the tissue that's on stretch, so that's his deep inside hip stuff right now. The regressive side is the tissue that is short, so that would be his outside hip stuff. For Steve's Pales intention, he is going to drive his ankle through the mat as if he were trying to rotate out of IR. So if the floor were not in the way, his leg would move from this position into this position. Obviously the floor is in the way, he won't be able to move, that's why this is an isometric effort. Is Steve, you ready for your first effort?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So you can see how Steve has his arms back supporting his upper body. That's completely fine. What he's also going to do is use his arms in contact with the floor to facilitate some upper body irradiation. And then we're going to go through his breathing as well. So Steve, big breath of air in, expand 360, trap that air in your lower abdomen. Now keep that tension as you maintain shallow breathing. Submit your shin into the floor. Knees not moving, shins not moving, foot is not moving. 20% effort, drive the inside of your ankle through the mat. Just 20% effort. Good, good, good. You found 20, we're dialing up like a volume dial, 21, 22, 23 until you're at 40. Good, good, good. He's a solid statue, can't move him. 41, 42, 43 until we're at 60. Always honoring closing angle joint pain. We're never training through joint pain. 60, dial it up to 80. Good, good, good. So he's driving so hard, I cannot lift his ankle off of the mat. Knee's still driving. Safest, greatest effort. Safest, greatest effort for 10. Good, good, good. Good, good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep your position. We're switching to rails. 1. Lift this foot. Give me a credit card of space. Torso staying solid. Lift this ankle off of the mat. Good, good, good. If you can't lift it, you're light on the scale. Good for 5. More IR. 4, 3, 2. Keep your position. Slowly dial that back. Slowly dial back. And let's see if we can sink into a deeper IR stretch. Good, good, good. Maybe bring those shoulders slightly toward me. Maybe if we have a millimeter more of range accessible, that's what I want. Awesome, awesome. Good. So we're just going to take a little time for you to recover. Steve knows how to work really freaking hard. So we're going to give him a little bit of time to recover. So now, what just happened? we use the isometric effort to give force input to the deep internal hip tissue that was on stretch. Then we overrode a stretch reflex that allows Steve to access slightly more internal rotation. So our next isometric is going to be from the newly accessed internal rotation. Ready for rep 2?
Sweating already.
All right, good. That means you're doing it right. Rep 2, I'm going to ramp you up a little faster here, okay? So upper body breathing, irradiation, got the arms, solid statue, cement the shin, 20% driving the ankle. Good, good. 21, 22, 23 till you're at 40. Good, good. Don't let me move you, don't let me move you. 40 to 60. 60 to 80. 80 to your safest, greatest effort. Good, good, good. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Knees down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep your position. 1. Rails. Lift, lift, lift. Credit card here. Light on the scale. Light on the scale. Good, good, good. Pelvis is solid. More IR. More IR. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep your position. Slowly relax. See if you can sink into slightly more range. Good, good, good. All right, Suze. We're done with Hales Rails. But you're going to stay in this position, okay? So now, we're going to move into some passive range liftoffs. So Steve, what I want you to do is orient your torso so that you can get some liftoff with this leg, okay? Good, good. So I'm actually going to lift you off of this. So we may need to kick
the torso, or?
Yeah, you can move the torso. You can kickstand out more, whatever you need to do so that we can actually get some lift off. Good, good, good. So relax. So we're going to move into passive range liftoffs. If you have the range, you could do this yourself by lifting up your own foot and then trying to hold it. I'm going to do this for Steve. So what I will be doing is bringing his hip into its passive in range internal rotation. And then when I let go, his job is to not let it fall. So, Steve, you ready? We're going to do 5 reps here. I'm going to let go in 3, 2, 1. Keep it there, keep it there. And 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good. Coming up. And release. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good, good. Coming up. And release. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good, good. 2 more here, 2 more here. Coming up. And release. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Last one here, last one. And release. 3, 2, 1. Let that parachute down, parachute down. Awesome. Good, good, good. So if Steve were not able to keep his foot up in the air, what I would ask him to do is fail slowly. So even if, when I let go, his leg just fell way down, what I would want him to do is try to fight that and fail slowly so it actually becomes more of an eccentric effort than an actual passive range hold. We're still getting the same target tissue, so we're still getting good training. All right, Steve. Now we're going to come into some hinges. So with our hinges, what we're going to do is keep our internal rotation and tension, but then we're going to extend or flex the knee so that we're adding some long lever leverage to put more of a challenge on that hip tissue that we are targeting. So Steve, what I'm going to have you do is kickstand out a little more because we still need to be able to get some lift off. Go ahead and lift that ankle if you can. Good, good, good. And relax. Awesome. So Steve, now I'm going to have you lift. Lift now. And now extend the knee for 3, 2, 1. Float down. And from here, lift. And now flex the knee for 3, 2, 1. Float down. Excellent, excellent. So lift. Extend. 3, 2, 1. Float down. Awesome. Lift. Extend. I'm sorry, flex. 3, 2, 1. Float down. 2 more here. Lift. Extend. 3, 2, 1, float down, good, 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 lift, flex, 3, 2, 1, float down, 2 to go here, 2 to go, lift, extend, 3, 2, 1, float down, awesome, awesome, lift, flex, 3, 2, 1, float down, good, good, last one here, lift, extend, 3, 2, 1, float down, last rep here, lift, flex, 3, 2, 1, and float down. Awesome effort. All right, Steve, we have one more in-range option that we're going to train here, okay?
All right, let's do it.
So now we're going to move into, I'm going to let Steve relax for a little bit while I demo this. We're going to move into some hovers, but try to keep stay in that position now.
Oh,
Try to stay in that position. Here you
sweat
go.
over here.
So what we're going to move into is some internal rotation and abduction hovers. So we still have our internal rotation and tension. I just want a little bit of space. If I were pulling my leg way up here, then that's not really enough of a challenge. So what I can do if I'm getting a lot of lift off the ground is just reorient my torso angle. So now it's more difficult. Another option would be to prop up with a block. And so now I don't have quite as much of a running start to reach into that internal rotation. I'm just going to manipulate my torso angle. So for these hovers, we're going to start with the IR intention, but then we're going to peel that knee off the ground and then slightly extend the hip for 3, 2, 1, parachute down. And up, flex the hip, 3, 2, 1, parachute down. Now, my goal is to keep my ankle higher than or even with my knee. If I just let my ankle fall, then it's very easy for me to hover this knee around. I've fallen out of my in-range IR intention. So the magic is in the specificity of the intention with all of this work. So I want to maintain my maximum IR, hover the knee, come out, float down. Keep that IR up, in, float down. Ready, Steve?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. And let's orient you slightly more in that direction. Good, good, good. So first, let's make sure you can get some IR lift off. So just rotate, lifting the foot first. Good. Now, lift the knee. Go get any lift in the knee and extend back toward me for 3, 2, 1, float down. Keep the IR. Try to touch the knee but not the ankle. Good. Lift and flex back to starting position. 3, 2, 1, float down. Good, good, good. And lift, extend. 3, 2, 1, float down. Really keep that IR and lift, flex. 3, 2, 1, float down. Float down, float down. Good. 3 more. Lift, extend. 3, 2, 1, float down and lift. Flex. 3, 2, 1, float down. Good. 2 to go. 2 to go. Lift, extend. Back toward me. 3, 2, 1, float down. Keep this ankle high and lift. Flex. 3, 2, 1, float down. Last one here. Last one. Keep the ankle high. Lift, extend. 3, 2, 1, float down. Last half rep. Lift, flex. 3, 2, 1, float down. Knee touches first. Knee touches first. Ankle parachutes down to follow. Excellent, excellent. All right, Steve. Back to sideline. How we started. We're going to close out with 3 reps of sideline hip cars. Flex the knees, flex the hips. And let's bring that knee to chest. Knee to ceiling. And toward me. Rotate that knee on an axis as you internally rotate the hip. Reaching back, reach the thigh back. Good, good. Knees coming toward the floor, keeping that IR, and then the knees are coming together. Good, good. And reverse it, reaching the thigh back, reaching the knee to the ceiling, wringing out that towel, pulling the knee to your armpit. Good, good. How's this IR feel?
It's a lot more fatigue than it was at the beginning,
Yeah.
but it's feeling better.
Good, good. And we'll get 2 more to close this out. Knee to chest. Knee to ceiling. Spin the knee on an axis, reaching the thigh back. Good, good. So remember, whenever we're doing cars, we want to watch out for closing angle sensations. So a closing angle sensation means that we have restriction or pain on the side of the joint that is getting shorter. So for example, when Steve begins his third and final hip car, we have the closing angle here and we have the opening angle here. If you were to have restriction or pain on this closing angle, that would mean that range is not trainable. So we're never going to train into closing angle restriction, or maybe sometimes we'll call it a pinch point. Whenever we do this in-range training, we always say safest, greatest effort. That applies to the range, staying out of closing angle sensations, closing angle pain, and that also applies to the effort, because we may have some closing angle sensations at a high level of effort, but not so much at a low level of effort. So always make sure that you're only training at your safest, greatest range, safest, greatest effort. All right, Steve. That'll close it out. All right, so rewind the video, swap sides, and you can go through this entire progression on the opposite side so that we've trained most of those hips in internal rotation.
Great workout.